Hey guys, my name is DBG, and today I'm going to be telling you how to get huge! Freaking huge! In Slitherio. So basically I'm going to be telling you guys some tips and tricks to hopefully increase your size in Slitherio. So yeah, anyways, I hope you learned something in the video. Peace! Alright, so the first tip is, before you try to go after anyone, be sure to eat as much food as you can. And when you're going to go for someone, always try to go for the smallest. And then once you get bigger, you can try to go for people that are a bit bigger. Alright, so now that you're big, you may want to get someone. My favorite method is I call it the curve method at least, where basically you try to speed in front of someone as fast as you can and curve right around them so they have nowhere to go. And they at least expect that they run right into you. And the main, rule for this trick is to not hesitate, because if you hesitate, they'll probably notice, and then they'll try to dodge it. So anyways, on to the next tip. Next tip is that if you're on one of these point circles where everyone keeps dying and there are like more and more points that keep building up and then people try to eat them and then they die in the process, always try to stay bundled up in your own little coil. Because if you go outside your coil, then you're extremely likely to die. But if you just coil up, then the chances of people running into you is extremely high, and you could get more points, or whatever. The only time I recommend you leave your coil is to try to peep out and try to get some points and try to circle around them, which is also another step. Is that when you find points, like a lot of points, when you're big enough, try to circle around those points so no one else gets them, and then you can eat all the other points while those points are also protected. So anyways, on to the next step, which is... And the fourth tip is when you see someone trying to eat your food, or when you're trying to get food and then someone else tries to get it, always try to either do the curve method or to try to turn your back towards them, depending if they're heading towards you or not. And then, you can kill them, you can survive, and you get extra points, which is freaking amazing. So on to the next step, which is... Alright, so the next step is, I know I kind of mentioned this before, but also, when you're around a lot of other people, always be sure to coil around so you don't die. If you're not feeling homicidal, you just kind of try to coil up and try to protect yourself. It doesn't always have to be in point circles. If you're just around a whole bunch of other little people and you're huge and you're scared of dying, just try to coil up and wait for them to leave. It's simple as that. On to the next step. And also, if you want to know how to prevent yourself from a curve attack, all you need to do is that when they try to do the curve attack or the speed attack right in front of you, just simply turn right as they do it, turn in on yourself, and then leave. Because they can't, if you're big, then they can't get on the other side. And I mean, they could, but it would take a really, really long time and you would have time to escape, which is really awesome. And, you'd be safe. So anyways, on to the next step with it, which is, these aren't really steps, but facts. What the next fact is... Alright, so the next tip is about coiling. So basically what coiling is basically when you try to trap someone in your coil, and then you circle around them and try to get smaller and smaller, until they eventually die, or whatever happens. Honestly, I do not really, I'm not a big fan of this strategy, because a lot of the times you're at risk of dying. But if you do want to do it right, just, try to coil around them and try to get tighter and tighter. And when they're speeding around in their little coil and trying to survive, when their head's turning away, try to cave in more and make the coil a bit more tight. I do not really recommend this method, because a lot of times you end up killing yourself, as you can see in this clip right here, where I actually managed to kill someone. And also, I'm going to tell you how to survive a coil attack in my next tip, which is... For my next tip, I just want to say that about, maybe 40% of the people that do become a victim of a coil attack usually try to, die in the circle. They try to run into you as soon as they try to get coiled, or they see you trying to coil them. So anyways, on to the next tip, which is... Alright, so to survive a coil attack, what you basically need to do is that if the person is not, occasionally, trying to, kind of stick their head in for a second trying to make the coil bigger, if they, keep their head in, be sure to, try to get, their head into your, into the side of your worm, or, you could also try, if you're big enough, then you could try to make yourself as big as possible, and try not to coil up too small, because, I mean, if you coil up really, really big, then, you know, I don't know, they're more likely to run into you. That is, if you make your coil really, really jaggedy. And anyways, that's it for that tip. Now on to our last tip, which is... Okay, on to our next tip. And last but definitely not least, is that for when you're around 10 to, I say, 200 points, try your best to go for the bots. Like, you can tell if they're bots, if they're like, you know, for example, if their name's BigSlitherio.bots.com, or HugeSlitherio.com, or Slitherio.hacks.com, and etc, etc. So, go for those people, because I would say about 50% of the time that they're AFK, and they're just going nowhere. They're just going in a straight line, so you could easily just curve right in front of them, and they would just die immediately. And some of them, you know, some of them are actually being controlled, and even then, they're actually still, like, pretty easy to kill. Like, you know, they do not live that long. And, yeah, I mean, that's about it for that method. It's pretty simple. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate the view, and I really do hope I helped you, and I hope you can get huge in Slitherio, and, yeah. I really do hope that I helped. I think I said that twice, but anyways, I really do hope that I helped. That's 3 times. And yeah, if you like the video, like, favorite, subscribe, and do whatever. Leave a comment, and you know, yeah. Anyways, peace out, guys. Bye-bye!